Hello everybody, SlimKirby here, and welcome to the final support video for the Elliewood playthrough. I say final because I'm going to be getting A support with a lot of the main characters I'm going to be using in this playthrough. If there are any other supports, I'll probably get them on the penultimate chapter, but only because they'll be very quick to get, and it's like, whatever, I'll just show them in the video itself and not worry about doing an extra video for it. So as far as like these little bonus videos are concerned, this is probably going to be the last one for the Elliewood playthrough. Now, in the middle of this chapter, I actually brought up something about a special conversation Elliewood and Ninian could have. I was under the impression that it was a talk option, but apparently it's not. Maybe there's like another way you can get it, or maybe it's just a certain cutscene changes or something later on. I'm not entirely sure, but apparently there is no talk option. If there is, I did something wrong, and I have no idea what it is, but regardless, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go on. The main thing I wanted to get from the Ninian and Elliewood support will be shown at the end of the playthrough anyway, and that's all I really care about. But aside from that, one other thing. This chapter I'm in right now, Cog of Destiny, I believe this is the first chapter where you can get one of Pent and Louise's support conversations, because keep in mind they're already A rank. They can't have like actual support conversations, but in certain chapters you'll actually get the option to support or get the option to talk between those two units if you brought them along. And Cog of Destiny is the first one. I'll bring up the other two a bit later, but yeah, this is the first chance where you have about that. But aside from that, let's just go ahead and get going to the supports. Because I'll be unable to get some of the A supports, since you can only have 5 supports per character per playthrough, I'll put a link in the video description to the main support page for serenisforest.com. There you can read all of the supports for any of the characters, C, B, and A. If there's ever, like, if you want to see the conclusion of a support conversation series, like, for instance, we won't see the Kent and Lynn A support, we won't see the Raven and Priscilla or the Raven and Will A support. If you ever want to check those out, just just go to those pages and look up. You can find some very interesting things about some of the characters and stuff of that nature, and just kind of go wild with learning backstory. There's a lot of really, really cool things you can find out, so I definitely recommend checking that out whenever you get the chance. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get the last supports for the Elliewood playthrough as far as these videos are concerned. So yeah, let's do that. Another peaceful day in the life of a transporter. Are you Merlinus? Why are you screaming, little man? I am your ally, not your foe. You do understand that, don't you? Of course, Dame Vaida. And what business do you have with me? I am your guard today, and I may see you more often in the future as well. What? Well, don't you look excited. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad of it myself. You make a good bait to draw the enemy near. I don't know how well it'll work, but it seems like a good ploy to try. This is terrifying. These burned soldiers love fighting more than eating. With friends like these, who needs enemies? Oh. Hey, it's you again. You want to know about the strongest warriors in the land, right? I did, and still do. But those whom I have met did not strike me as being very strong at all. Well, I remembered a bunch more, because, I felt like I hadn't given your money's worth. Out with it. But hold on, I was hoping you could help me out, too. I am looking for a certain treasure in Alib. If you know anything, please tell me. I'll tell you what I know. Alright then, you've got a deal. Have you ever heard of the Princess of Swords? No. Really? Well, she's supposed to be gorgeous. She appears at tournaments and slices through her foes with ease. Then she just disappears. From what I've heard, she's looking for a man from her past. Speaking of women, let me tell you about the Wyvern General. You know about the 3 Wyvern Generals in Bern, right? Well, she's a 4th, and she's mightier than the other 3. Interesting. I will remember her. Now it's my turn. So you've traveled all over Alib, right? Have you ever heard of the treasure of the Pirate King? No. One word? You call that an answer? Now I found you, you stinking bow plucker. Whoa, look, behind you. What? Are you okay? You idiot, on your right. Whoa! Phew, that was close. Thanks. You're Dart, right? I wasn't trying to help you, squid bait. Just forget about it. But wait, you did save me first. So think of it as payback. What? You know, Dart, you really do look like Dan. It's just so hard to imagine you're not him. Not that again. Who is this guy? Who is Dan? Dan was my childhood he was my best friend. We left home together 5 years ago, but it didn't go too well. Last time I saw him was back in Badon. 5 years ago in Badon, you say? That's right. Nah, couldn't be. What? Do you know something? Well, about 5 years ago, Fargus pulled into port of Badon, and a young man had collapsed on the pier. He was bleeding pretty badly. They say it was a miracle he lived at all. What? Everyone in town just pretended not to notice. And no wonder, that day was a holy day for Illumine's flock. They were forbidden any contact with blood. And the sailors, well, you know how superstitious they are. That man lay there half alive for 6 hours. That's terrible! Then the taboo lifted, and someone picked him up just in time. It was the leader of the pirates that work out for Badon. Well, that young man recovered, but as if in exchange for his life, he had lost all of his memories. Dart, you don't think... I don't know. I don't know. It's just a story I've heard about. So yeah, I'll go ahead and stop right here for a second. Yeah, these are actually childhood friends. I don't think they ever outright state that Dart is that guy, but I think it's heavily implied that Will and Dart used to be best friends before all of this, which is why I really wanted to get these support conversations. If anyone's playing this game, another conversation I'd really recommend, Rebecca and Dart. I'm not going to say anything about that now, because I might actually show it in the Hector mode when I get around to that, but yeah, that's a very, very good conversation as well, which you learn probably even more backstory. But I'll go ahead and leave it at that. Lord Hector, what is it now, Oswin? I was watching you just now. You are in top form, I must say. I could hardly believe my eyes. Heh, I see you finally opened those eyes of yours. The way you wield your axe shows how hard you train. Tell me, where did you learn? Where? In the ring, of course. You know, I love that place. I used to sneak out of class for days and an end to fight. So you were fighting your peers in the ring. Yeah, just don't let my brother know. Yeah, I had to threaten my teachers, too. Huh? Ah, now I have you. I thought you might be disobeying Lord Uther, the brother of a Marquis of Ostia fighting in the ring. What would Uther say if he were here now? Fine, I hear you. Just don't tell my brother. Perhaps we could work out an arrangement. If you promise never to go to the ring again. Fine, I'm out. Done. On my honor as a man. Of course. You ill-hearted old man. Not that I'm correcting you, but I'm only in my 30s. I would think ill-hearted gentleman more appropriate. Now I must be off. Huh? 30s? He must be kidding. Lady Priscilla? What is the matter? You seem ill at ease. I'd like to thank you for your service. Eh? I hired you to protect me, and your contract ends today. Eh? Ah, now that you mention it, I suppose it does. But what do you plan to do now, Lady Priscilla? I am in debt to Lord Eliwood. I intend to follow him until his expedition is ended. Perhaps you might extend my contract? No, regretfully I cannot. I left on this journey without my family's permission. Even were I to keep you on with me, I'm afraid I would have no gold to pay you. I see. Then there's nothing to be done about it. My contract with you ends now, Lady Priscilla. Well then, shall we be on our way? What? But you... I have decided to join this troop to further my own training. I shall guard you, Lady Priscilla, as part of that training. If it is not an imposition? Of course, it is no imposition. But then I should think it odd. Perhaps you could not call me lady? Well then, Priscilla? Yes. Yes, that sounds much nicer. As you wish. Now, Urk, I trust you will do your duty well. As always, Priscilla. Kent. Fiora. You... Forgive me. No, it is I who should apologize. We... Why don't you go first? No, please, you first. Well then. Fiora, please stay with me. When you are near, I feel as if I fight more bravely, more keenly. I think we would fight well together. What do you say? Actually, I came to ask you the same thing. Really? Yes. It's strange, isn't it? I feel as if we'd known each other from birth. Fiora, I must ask you one more thing. When this battle ends, if we both still live, please say no more. I already know what you will ask. Of course, I feel the same way. Really? I am glad. But, about that policy I suggested, what should we do? Well, perhaps it can wait. That's so cute. They were trying to stop intermingling between the sexes, but then they realized they loved each other, so... That's so cute. Rath, tell me the rest of your story, please. Why did you have to leave the tribe? The tribe diviner saw a bad omen in the stars. As the Shifshin sun, I had to leave to prevent disaster. What disaster? Can't say. But the diviner did tell me I would know when the time came. He said I was born into this land to stop the burning. A dark flame consuming all. At the time I was less than 4, without even the means to survive. I wandered not knowing right from left. The people of other tribes laughed and ridiculed me. I do not feel the loneliness now as I did then, but sometimes I remember. I have never felt so alone. I see, that makes sense. When I first met you, I felt like we had something in common. Maybe it was because we shared the experience of being alone. Lynn? Yes? You sure it's alright for you to be here? The battle's not over. You're right, but I don't feel I can leave you. When I'm with you, I feel safe. I can sense your strength. Lynn. Please, Rath, let me stay here, just for a while. Fine. As you wish.